Wagwan, it's your boy, brother Noomsi, alongside my co-host, Time Zone Dave. Another great episode. We in here. What's good with you, bro? We about to do this thing one more time. Keep hitting them over the head over and over again until they realize and recognize we the number one sports podcast out there, giving y'all two different generation perspective on sports. We got a great show lined up for y'all. We got NBA rivalry week breakdowns. We also have NBA updates, all-star game starters, Super Bowl predictions. But we're gonna start off the show. I gotta give some props to my man Time Zone Dave, man. He tried to tell
what's
me
going on. What happened?
you tried to tell me. You tried to tell me in the conference finals of this NFL playoffs that Kansas City was the real deal.
Yes, sir.
Kansas City.
Go up for back-to-back. Go up for back-to-back, man.
Talk your ish. Talk your shit, bro. Talk it. You deserve it, man. Look,
yeah, man. Let's do it.
A lot of people, not just me, but most of America, man, was really shocked, and they had Baltimore winning this game. Baltimore was at home. They had the momentum. They've been playing really well, but the final score ended up being Kansas City 17, Baltimore 10. Really quick breakdown on the stats, and I'm gonna let you go and talk because I know.
Okay.
Because I know you got some stuff to let off. Pat Mahomes, he did what he always does though in big games: 30 for 39, 241 passing yards with a touchdown. Travis Kelce, 11 catches, 116 receiving yards with a touchdown, and your boy Pacheco came through with 68 rushing yards and a touchdown. That was a excellent performance by the Kansas City Chiefs. Real quick, on the Baltimore side of the ball, Lamar had 272 passing yards. Big game passing wise, but he also had a touchdown and one pick, but only 8 carries for 54 rushing yards. He led the team in rushing. We're going to talk a little bit about Lamar a little bit later, but first, let's give credit where credit is due. Kansas City Chiefs, y'all boys did it. Back in the Super Bowl again. How many consecutive AFC championship games has Pat Mahomes played in? How many has he played in now?
This is his 4th, I believe.
Number 4, man. I was reading somewhere that he had more than that, but this is crazy, man.
The 4 to 6 though, for sure.
Definitely, man.
And he ain't lost.
So how did you feel about that game as you were sitting there watching the game unfold? What were some of the keys? What were some of the things that you noticed as to what y'all keys were to victory?
Keys was they was playing defense. Defense stepped up big. We got so many good stops.
Yeah.
We knocking it out of Lamar's hands, fumbling we getting great stops all game. We played great deep, especially when we won scoring towards the 3rd and the 4th. And really, Baltimore, the score could have been worse for Baltimore. Chiefs really could have had like 30 plus. It didn't work out, but the score could have been more for real based on the game, how the game went.
Yeah, salute to y'all defense. Like Kansas City's defense was top notch. Y'all boys was balling, and Baltimore defense was playing well too up until the end. Just for them to hold Patrick Mahomes to 17 points going into the 3rd quarter, going into the 4th quarter, rather, I was like, okay, Baltimore's defense is holding up. They at least keeping Baltimore in the game, because without their defense, Baltimore could have got blown out and ran out of there. But
the Chiefs had a couple 3 and outs. I think like in the 4th, we had like 2 3 and outs, and Baltimore was getting the ball back.
There was a few of those, and the fact that Baltimore was sitting on 7 points going all the way into that says a lot for y'all defense. Kansas City defense really stepped up. Also,
been big this year for us. I ain't gonna lie.
It also says a lot about Baltimore's play calling, Baltimore's offense. I don't understand some of the play calling for Baltimore side of the ball. I was scratching my head a little bit. Zay Flowers, the receiver for Baltimore, he did have 5 catches for 115 yards and a touchdown. But my man made some critical errors down the stretch. One of those penalties, he had a taunting penalty, in a most critical, crucial time of the game.
That's for them young players. They got to understand the moment. They can't get too big in the moment, especially where it can cost you.
Yeah,
that was big. That was a big penalty.
It was huge in a game like that. For those of y'all who didn't see it, there was a huge play where I believe he caught a pass, and it was for something like 30, 40 yards. It was a huge play. Them in position to score, but he gets up after he makes this big play, spikes the ball down right in front of the defender's face, and then flexes on him in front of him, directly in front of the referee. I'm talking about the referee right here, and he does this whole flex thing right in front of the ref when your team is trying to build momentum to score. The referee immediately threw a flag, taunting, and was that a 15-yarder? I believe it was a 15-yard penalty.
Yeah.
A 15-yard, you cost your team 15 yards on that.
You know what that means?
Exactly.
Go ahead, come back for a minute.
That's what I'm thinking too. I'm looking at Zay and I'm like, yo, what was that all about? Why would you even do that and put your team in that bad predicament? But then even beyond that, he had an opportunity to make up for it. He gets a chance to get into the end zone. He catches a big pass, and he's jumping through the end zone to break the plane. And before he can get the ball over the plane, the ball gets knocked out of the defender. I don't know which defender it was for Kansas City, but one of y'all boys reached in there.
Defense.
Excellent. Knocked the ball clear out of his hand, and it's a touchback. So those two critical errors and critical mistakes definitely had a lot to do with Baltimore losing that game.
That was a big play.
It was, and Zay Flowers, if you're watching, which you probably not, I just hope this, or somebody who knows him pass this on. I hope this is a lesson to you. These are moments that you may never get again. Getting to this point of the season, getting one game away from the Super Bowl, young players think it's just going to happen every year. That ain't going to happen every year like that. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and you squandered it. Yeah, make no mistake about it. It was you. I looked at you on the sideline. You took your helmet, you put it on, you slammed on the ground. You're angry. You messed up your finger doing something foolish because you knew that it was you, and you knew that you let your teammates down. Can you imagine letting down everybody on the team that worked so hard to get there, and because you do a bonehead play twice, you cost the team a chance to a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to go to the Super Bowl? I know he's sick. I know he probably still sick right now. He got to be.
They think about that all the time. It's in their heads.
I don't get it. And then we also got to, give some of this L also has to go to the offensive coordinator for the Baltimore Ravens also. Number one, why didn't Baltimore run the ball more? Baltimore, your strength is running the ball. They hardly ran the ball at all. Most of those plays.
That D-line, we right there, front center, ready.
I see that. But you got to try to, at least try to impose your will and show your true identity. But these boys, they had Lamar Jackson dropping back like 60 to 70% of the game. He's dropping back, trying to beat Tom Brady, sitting in the pocket, trying to check down receivers and check down. And that's not, I get it. I understand that you're trying to do this new Lamar Jackson thing. You're trying to balance out the offense because you don't want him to be seen as a one-dimensional quarterback. But in a game like that, you need to open up all the dimensions of what he can bring to the table. And they didn't do that.
I feel that he knows he can do that, but I feel like he didn't mix it together, like passing and running. He was like, okay, let me just go out here and just be in the pocket. And then there were times where he could just take off, you know what I'm saying? Pick up easy 10, couple yards.
You saw it too, right? I mean, I was watching, and he had lanes open.
He wanted to throw more, which I don't know. He should have did both. Maybe it could have been better for him.
One of them was on like a 3rd and short, and he drops back. He has a lane to just run for the first down. The first down is right there. Mm-hmm. He drops back, and he went through every single progression. I seen him look at receiver 1, receiver 2, receiver 3, and then he brought it all the way back to receiver 1 again and tried to check it down again. And I'm like, just run the ball. Get the first down. That's your strength. but he still stayed there. And a couple of times that he did take off, he waited too long. He went first receiver, second receiver, third receiver, fourth receiver, and then tried to take off. By that point, y'all D lineman was all in his grill.
Yeah.
Y'all were blitzing him, pressuring him the whole game.
It was crazy blitz.
You were sending corners. Y'all were sending corners at him. Linebackers. I mean, he didn't know where the blitz was coming from because y'all was sending it from so many different places that he was flustered, which is why I feel like you go first receiver, second receiver, take off. That's my mind. But he went first, second, third, even fourth, and then tried to take off. And by that time, it was too late, so he couldn't get his momentum going. Third thing, Odell Beckham Jr. had only like 4 or 5 catches in the game. Like
he had like 1 catch.
And the 1 catch that he got was for a first down.
Yeah, right. He got like 20 yards on that play.
Yeah, and I was baffled. I'm like, yo, why are they not running plays for Odell? He's the one guy who has the experience. He's been here before. He knows what to do in these cases. He's still talented, and they were not even looking his way. It was Zay Flowers for the most part who was getting most of those. So again, salute to Kansas City Chiefs. Y'all boys did y'all thing, and y'all deserved it. The offensive coordinator for Baltimore, he got to hold some of that L too. But
they all gotta hold that L.
They all do.
Harbaugh, Lamar, Zay.
Yeah, they all gotta share. They gotta share that L.
Right now. It's tough.
Oh man, I'm telling you, and so many people were shocked and crushed by how that game ended and turned out. So what does this say for Lamar's legacy though? Like, so now are we going to just look at Lamar Jackson as one of those guys? He's just a really good regular season quarterback, but he can't get over the hump. He can't get to that next level. Does this diminish his legacy in any way in your eyes?
No, I don't think so. But moving forward, he just has to plan better, be more prepared. He has to make better decisions, take what the defense gives him as well.
I with you on that.
Every game of the season, he's like I said, it was that balance. Running, passing.
Yeah.
It was no balance there on
there was no balance, like you said, on that game Sunday. It was he was just a one-sided, lopsided, and it was noticeably awkward. It was noticeably ineffective. Yeah. People that know Lamar and know how he plays and have watched him play were watching him stand there and watching the pocket collapse around him, and he not do nothing but stand there burping the baby. Just like come on, man. Let go of the ball or take off. But he held the ball too long.
I get it. It's gonna be tough moving forward, especially in that AFC. There's gonna be other teams more hungry and better, so it's gonna be actually. Tough.
Make no mistake
for him to get to that point, and I feel like this was his best shot this year, at least get to the Super Bowl. So
I think he knew that too. I think he knew it, and you could see the frustration on his face whenever they showed him on the sideline, and he's watching Patrick Mahomes drive the ball down the field in that last drive, and you could just see Lamar's face is like he knew this was his only one, might be his last chance to do this with this good of a team. His defense was stellar. He's never had a defense this good. He's never had an offense this good. No. He's never had nothing has ever been set up for him as good as it was this year.
2 years for Baltimore, it was their receiver core. They didn't have no receivers.
Yeah,
they finally buy in, get receivers, put around Lamar just to play make, and it didn't turn out as well as they thought.
Not at all, man. They didn't utilize his skill set. He didn't utilize his skill set. So again, Kansas City is back at it. One more round of applause for the Kansas City Chiefs. Our boys deserve it.
Back to the Super Bowl, man. Let's go get another one.
Y'all back in the bowl. I don't think I ever pick against y'all again, but that was definitely a great.
I've been calling Kansas City the whole year. I said
you have been. You have been.
Still, even when he was losing, struggling. I said it's Kansas City that gets to the playoffs. It's different. You still got Mahomes and Kelsey, and look what they did.
You definitely did. I will admit, You know, you and a few other people I know are some of the only people that stuck with Kansas City through thick and thin, all the way through the end of the season. So y'all deserve this credit. Y'all deserve the props and all that. Now, moving on. So we know Kansas City got the AFC locked down, and the Kansas City Chiefs will be representing the AFC in this year's Super Bowl. Moving along to the next game to determine who Kansas City was going to play against. We had a really good game with the San Francisco 49ers and the Detroit Lions. San Francisco, I know, man. Hey, shout out to everybody in the D. What up, though? All of y'all, 313 in the building. Y'all had a wonderful season. Y'all ain't got nothing to hold y'all heads down about. The final score of the game, San Francisco 34, Detroit 31. Brock Purdy, he had 267 passing yards with a touchdown and a pick. The story for the 49ers, though, Christian McCaffrey and Debo. Christian McCaffrey had 20 carries for 90 yards, 2 touchdowns. He was in beast mode. And then Debo, with a hurt shoulder and all, Debo out there with 8 catches for 89. He almost gets a hundo. The 2 best players for San Francisco played huge. They played big. They pretty much carried the load because they've been here before. They like McCaffrey and Debo have been in this situation. They've played in this game before, and they played like it. They didn't make big mistakes. San Francisco, even early in the game where they were losing and they were down and it could have gotten away from them, they continued to play their game. They continued to run the ball. They continued to mix it up. They didn't go into desperation mode and start trying to chuck up bombs every play. They continued to play their game. And it worked for them. As you would say, in the words of my man, Time Zone Dave, they walked them down towards the end.
That was a walk down, like literally. Like the Lions was up all first 2 quarters. We get to the third. Couldn't get nothing going. Then we turn the ball over. Yeah. Here comes San Francisco. Score. Then the Lions get the ball. Nothing. 4th down, went for it. Couldn't do nothing. Then here comes San Francisco again. Score. I said, yeah, they about to get walked down. They scored again. That's the walk down.
Hey, bro. That's all I kept thinking to myself when I was watching it. I was like, oh, Lord. They probably over there talking about, oh, they walking them down. Now, they about to start walking them down.
I knew it.
They did, man. Because, again, man, Detroit, these boys came out the gates balling. Jared Goff, he had a good game, 273 passing yards with a touch. Montgomery and Gibbs combined for over 100 yards rushing with 2 touchdowns. So they were there earlier. The story for Detroit, in my eyes, were their receivers and the coaching decisions. Mm-hmm. No single receiver on Detroit's team had 100 yards receiving. Okay, not Amon Ra, not Laportier, whatever the tight end's name is, not Williams, none of them. And them boys had countless drops. I don't think I've ever seen this many drop passes in a yeah.
And he had the crucial ones.
Oh my goodness.
The one on the 4th down where one couldn't be converted. That was the 4th down play right there.
That was, fam. Like like I said, I don't think I've ever seen so many drop passes and key moments like this in a championship game. Mm-hmm. This is also, and I was hearing a lot about this throughout the regular season, that even when Detroit was playing so well, the one knock on them, the one knock that a lot of people were saying about them is the fact that their receivers dropped a lot of balls. Their receivers were dropping a lot of passes. They didn't generate the type of offense that you would expect for them to have.
And Jared Goff had a couple missed time passes too that I feel like was a fake too. Like passes he normally, at least there it's on the money. Receivers couldn't really get a handle on it. So like some of them passes was kind of off. So I
did see that
rhythm away too.
I saw that too. Jared Goff did have a couple of errant throws. I saw one where he went over the receiver's head. I saw one where he underthrew a receiver. So there was a couple of those, but much more what sticks out in my head were the drops. That's just for the receivers. But on the coaching side of things for Detroit, where was the running game? Detroit started off in the first half running the ball very effectively. In the second half, them boys kind of abandoned the run. I don't know if they started feeling the footsteps of getting walked down. So they decided to say, okay, well, hey, we need to start turning up our offense. So they started to try to put the ball in the air a lot more. But the running game was almost non-existent in that second half of the game for Detroit. In addition to,
they was exposed as San Francisco on the run. The whole first half. I'm like, they can't stop.
the whole first half.
They couldn't stop them.
I also am kind of baffled at Coach Dan Campbell and some of his aggressive coaching decisions.
They were tough.
One, namely, coaching decision that I didn't really agree with is when they were 4th and short and he didn't kick the 3. He elected to go for it, which I still, to this moment, I still don't understand why you would do that when the game is so close. In such a close game like that, every point matters. So I think that by him bypassing that field goal and trying to go for it, that also did a lot to their psyche when they got stopped on that 4th down. That kind of, I think all of the thoughts about, oh, we're the Detroit Lions, we've been sucking for years, we ain't even supposed to be here, now we're starting the show. I think all of that started to creep into their heads at that point. If I'm Coach Campbell, I understand you want to be aggressive, but I would have kicked that field goal. I mean, personally, I don't know how you felt about that. Being from the D, what was the energy like out there in the D when he went for it like that? Did most of the people around you say, yeah, let's go for it? Or most of the people like, what are you doing? Kick the 3. Like, what was the energy? What was the feel in the D?
Well, first I want to say Dan Campbell is a gutsy coach. He's been going for these calls.
You think he's playing Madden? This ain't
for real. Like, he's been going for these calls all year. And you know how many times they got it? They've got that 4th down 20 times out of the 25 times they went for it.
Okay.
So his philosophy is like, okay, I gotta go for this because I've been doing it all year. But
so why change it now? Yeah.
At the same time, this game is too big. It's too much on the line. We already went for the first 4th down and ain't get it when we were up 2. Now we go for the second one. We don't get it. We could push the lead up to, I think at that point, it could have been 17 still.
Yeah.
We kick that field goal. We take the points. They scored. We're still up. So it's kind of a 50-50 because he's been doing it all year. But personally, I would have kicked the field goal. This game's too big. Our season is on the line. I need the real points, the points that we're supposed to take.
I feel you on that. Like, okay, yeah, you've been doing it all year. The numbers, the analytics say you're supposed to go for it and all that. But
and I said, kick the field goal, Dad. When I live as the game's going, I said, kick the field goal. Kick the field goal. We just went for it, ain't get it. We're up, but we need to push the lead some more.
That's one of those moments where all of that regular season stuff goes out the window. I know you've had success doing this throughout the regular season. I know you've had success, but you are on the road in the NFC Championship game against the best team in the NFC all season long in their building. You take the points. You take those points in that situation. I wouldn't go for it. I would have looked at it as, okay, this is a once in a lifetime thing. At least if you kick the field goal, you keep the game close enough to where your team still psychologically feels like we can win this game. We got this. But you go for it and get stopped and don't get it. Now that crowd in San Francisco is going crazy.
And now you about to, the whole momentum shifted.
It shifted at that point.
All the momentum after that, the rest of the game.
That's when the walk down just commenced. That's when the walk down really started creeping. And you could see it, that it kind of demoralized Detroit's team. It demoralized both sides of the ball, the defense and the offense. They were both a little demoralized after that. So again, hey, Coach Campbell, he had a great season. He had a really, really good season. I think he should be Coach of the Year. He got my vote for Coach of the Year still, but a lot has to be said in these big moments, in these huge games, what kind of decisions do you make under pressure? What kind of
Mhm.
decisions do you make in these key games? So Coach Campbell got a big piece of that L, or
Yeah.
the OC, whoever is making those decisions about when to go for it, when not to. They got, and also the receivers. The receivers, they got to hold some of that
Yeah,
L
I
too.
think I think that
Runnels
decision
drop.
when it comes down to that decision in the game is I think it's the head coach decision to actually say let's go for it, and the coordinator just calls the play. So I think the
Yes,
head coach has that decision. So it was on Campbell to say that.
I agree. I agree with you on that. So, with all that being said, now we have both Super Bowl teams already identified. We got out of the
Mhm.
AFC, we got your Kansas City Chiefs, and they're going to be going against the San Francisco 49ers, who again have been the NFC's best team pretty much all season long. So this should be a pretty entertaining Super Bowl game. I At this point, we're going to switch over to our predictions now, kind of give our predictions on the Super Bowl, as if I even need to ask you who you're picking to win this game.
Please,
Like I
this
don't
is
even.
for the back to back. If Kansas City wins, this solidifies Mahomes' legacy, and he will be the first quarterback in so long to go back to back. Not even Brady went back to back. He just won every other year. That's just why he was so great.
I can't argue.
This is Patrick Mahomes' biggest Super Bowl game of all his games ever.
I can't argue that. This is his legacy game. Like you said, this is the game that's going to really propel him in the conversation with Tom Brady, because that's who he's chasing right now. He's chasing Tom Brady. Make no mistakes about it. Everything that he's doing from this point forward is, well, from the moment he won that first Super Bowl, it's been on target to come after Brady. So San Francisco, they have a really good team this year. We just saw them on full display. Their defense is clicking, their offense is clicking, but they can be had against the run. And I think that's where they're gonna get exposed. Like you just mentioned, their running game, their defense got exposed on the run. So I think with Kansas City's ability to mix it up, and with Pacheco running so violently, that's a violent runner, man. That Pacheco, with him running like that, I'm gonna have to go with your pick also, and I'm gonna pick the Kansas City Chiefs also to win this Super Bowl, and for Patrick Mahomes to win his second in a row and his back-to-back. I I can't take nothing from Pat Mahomes no more. I don't think I'm gonna
Y'all
ever
better
bet
stop.
against
People
him.
at home, y'all better stop betting against Mahomes, man.
Yeah,
He is
y'all
one
might
of
want to
them.
listen.
He is one of them. Y'all better stop betting on him. I'm trying to tell you right now, it's not gonna work out, man.
I learned my lesson. I definitely learned my lesson this year. I'm
Playoffs is
not.
a different story. This is when it matters. This is when our players come to play. This is where we turn up. This is where we chase what we've been working for all season.
The way he elevates his game in these moments,
Mm-hmm.
that's why I'm not betting against him anymore. It's Tom Brady like. It's like I haven't seen anything like it since Brady, where you can play mediocre throughout the season, but in games that matter, that you absolutely have to have, he seems to elevate his level much higher than everybody else out there.
Yeah.
Him and Kelsey are on like a similar accord. Mahomes knows when to get rid of the ball. He knows when to take off. He knows when to throw it away. He knows when to sell it. He knows how, even his play fakes, even when he runs a play action fake, he does everything to perfection. And I gotta hand it to him. Right now, Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in the NFL, and it's not even close. It's not even close. There's nobody else right now that's close to his level, especially on the elite stage of these must-have win games. So with that, I'm taking Pat Mahomes and Kansas City Chiefs, so you can book that. That's the Sports Time Zone. Both yours truly, Brother Noomsi, and Time Zone Dave. We both going with Kansas City. So y'all, if y'all at home, don't make the mistake that I made in picking against Pat Mahomes again. Don't do that. Y'all listen, take heed. I don't care what Vegas is talking about. I don't care what nobody talking about. My eyes saw what I saw, and Patrick Mahomes is the real deal. I wouldn't bet against him. So
Yes, sir, Chiefs. You gotta fight for your right to
Party! Hey,
Hey!
that's what's up. And they fought for their right
Let's
to
go,
make it to the Super Bowl. So shout out to both Kansas City Chiefs and San Francisco 49ers for getting into the Super Bowl. Salute to all y'all. Y'all deserve a big round of applause. And we're going to see them boys in the Super Bowl. So with that, that's kind of tough to follow up. But with that, we're going to switch gears a little bit. Now that we've ironed out the NFL season that's starting to wind down and come to an end, we're going to change gears and go over to the NBA and talk a little bit of hoops. There were some really big games over this last weekend. They called it NBA Rivalry Week because they tried to match up a lot of teams that have rivalries with each other. Namely, one of the teams that were playing in that rivalry was my Miami Heat up against the New York Knicks. Man, in this game, in that Knicks game, Jimmy Butler had 28, but Bam Adebayo only had 12 points on 10 shots. That not gonna make it, Bam. Like if you're one of the team's best player, boy, you can't just be sitting up there with 10 shots, yo. You need to be getting at least 20 shots a game. 15 to 20. 15 is still too low, but you need to be taking at least 20 shots a game. And that 10 shots was just not enough for me. That's not going to get the job done. Tyler Hero, he seems to stagnate the offense with too much isolation ball. When Tyler Hero gets the ball, the offense stops. And then he wants to line up and square up whoever he's on to either try to take the jump shot or try to drive past him, but our offense suffers. Tyler played 35 minutes with only 18 points on 4 of 11 from downtown. That also not gonna make it. Duncan Robinson came off the bench, had fewer minutes, and still had more points than Tyler Hero in that game. I personally think Tyler should come off the bench. He's at his best when he's with the second unit. Plus, he just won 6th Man of the Year. So why reinvent the wheel? I know he wants to be a starter. I know he's in there slamming his hand on the desk. And I want to be a starter. I want to be a starter. But the team is suffering when you start, boy. You need to sit down and come off the bench and help the second unit. That's where you're at your best. I also feel like the team is too small for my liking. We're still a little bit too small. We need a legit center so that Bam can move to the 4 and that can free up his game a little bit. This small ball experiment, it needs to be over. There's not been any team that I know that have won an NBA championship with small ball outside of maybe the Golden State Warriors from a couple of years ago or the Miami Heat team that had LeBron James on it. But that's an anomaly. You ain't going to see that happen. And right now, the Heat are on a 6-game losing streak. The 6 games that we've lost, the Raptors, Atlanta Hawks, Orlando Magic, Memphis Grizzlies, Boston Celtics, and now the New York Knicks.
I can't believe y'all lost to the Grizzlies.
I can't believe we
at
lost.
Home.
We lost to the Memphis.
They don't have nobody playing.
Nobody was playing.
Jared Jackson and Luke Kennard. Like literally, that's their team. You got Bam, Jimmy, your whole lineup was playing.
Terry Rozier, like we got all of these players, man, and we still came up short and blank. I can't believe we lost to the Toronto Raptors. I can't believe we lost to the Orlando Magic. You know, Orlando, they're a young and up and coming team.
They're tough. They're tough.
They're getting there, but they shouldn't be beating us like that. And the game wasn't even close. So again, this is something
road game for y'all.
This is something we gotta get fixed. And then it's this game against the New York Knicks, a rivalry game on the weekend. Them boys took us behind the woodshed and laid it down. They beat us. They beat us bad. They beat us.
You think y'all gonna win tonight? Y'all play the Suns.
We play the Phoenix Suns tonight. If I'm a betting man, I say we don't win this game tonight because I haven't seen anything from these last 6 games that would make me believe that we can play this. We're at home now, but nothing makes me believe that we're going to beat a team with Kevin Durant, with who's your boy Devin Booker and Bradley Beal. I just don't.
Phoenix hasn't been playing well the last 2 games or so, 2-3 games. They've been losing.
Well, they're playing against us.
No chemistry. They've been on and off, even though they just came off about a 7-game win streak like last week, but they start off this week kind of slow, so they trying to get right.
Well, they also have a 7-footer, Yusuf Nurkic. They have a 7-foot center. We don't have a 7-foot center. We got Bam, but Bam is an undersized big man. Yes, he can match up against a lot of big men, but he's not a center. So we continuously get exposed down low in the paint on the rebounds. We get out rebounded almost every game. That's just becoming a part of what to expect. I don't know. Maybe ain't nobody on the team above 6'10". I think 6'10" is where we max out. And with us having such a small team and we play against these long teams with long rangy guys, it don't end up well for us. So Pat Riley, you still got more work to do. Like, I'm gonna look in his camera again, because last time I talked to Pat Riley, he listened, because I asked Pat Riley for some help and he brought me help. Pat Riley, please, this small ball experiment has to be over. Teams are exposing us because we're undersized. We continuously lose the rebound battle. We continuously get back down in the paint. We have no size. We need more size, and Bam is not a center. He needs to move to the power forward. Yes, small ball can get you to the finals, but it cannot win you the finals. And we need to understand that. Pat Riley, if you're listening, which I know you ain't, but somebody, please pass this message on to Pat Riley so that our team can get a big man and we can play a little bit better. That's all I got on that for the Miami Heat boys. Tonight's game is against the Phoenix Suns, as Time Zone Dave just mentioned. So all I can do is hope and pray that we can snap our winning streak, but I'm not betting on it. Another game that was going on over rivalry week. This was a good one. This was probably the best game of rivalry weekend. The Lakers beat the Warriors in double overtime. LeBron James. I'm going to read his stat line real quick, because I'm not a LeBron hater at all, but I'm not known for always giving him credit where the credit is due. So I'm going to say this. The Lakers beat the Warriors in double overtime, and LeBron James had 36 points, 20 rebounds, 12 assists.
Triple-double.
That's a crazy triple-double. He wanted that game. And these numbers prove this wasn't just a game. It's some games where you could tell a superstar, they just like, all right, I'm just going to come out and try. But this game, he wanted to win this game, and he put those numbers. AD had 29 and 13, so AD showed up and did his thing too. But with LeBron James putting up those kind of numbers, and that win actually put the Lakers over 500. So now they're 24 and 23. So I got to give credit where it's due. LeBron James is defying all, like, father time. He's defying all laws of biology, physics, everything, anything you can imagine. At the age that he is now, putting up numbers like that, like, you have to give that man his credit. I'm giving him his credit. I mean, I'm still not saying that he's the GOAT, because the GOAT that I saw wore number 23, but he played in Chicago. That was the GOAT that I saw.
And I don't think he over that GOAT that played for the Lakers, 24. We all know what I'm talking about.
That I definitely feel that. I definitely over too, so rest in peace to the Mamba in the heavens. Definitely. But for what we have right now, LeBron James is definitely the best player in the game today. And that says a lot with him being at the age he is to be able to put up those kind of numbers. It's crazy. It's crazy. But why are the Lakers so inconsistent? Like, what's up with that? Like, the Lakers will play really good one game and then they'll turn around and lose to the Brooklyn Nets. Like, they're not consistent with their lineup problems. They switch it too much. They need to make who starter, have them start, and progress with that. They change it every 2 games depending on who their matchup is, because they want to match who they playing and all that. I say stay consistent with that lineup and you build on that. Then that's when the chemistry comes in effect more with that. So okay.
So they got to keep that starting lineup. I think that starting lineup recently has been Reeves, D'Angelo Russell, LeBron, Vanderbilt, and Anthony Davis.
So do you feel like it's Darvin Ham? It's the coaching that's the
Sometimes it
Lakers'
can
problem.
be. It can be because he switches it too much. He's not consistent with it.
Yeah.
So there are people familiar who they playing with. They don't play right with the next person because he's switching the lineup.
That's facts. That's facts. Like it's hard to get any type of continuity if you continuously switch your lineup and you're not letting your boys gel. You're like, okay, you're gonna tinker with it. You watch how they play with this lineup, and then he's like, okay, well now let's experiment. Let's take him out. Let's put Austin Reeves in, and let's do like no, just stick with what works for you. If it's working, then like Times on Dave say, just stop switching the lineup so much because it's inconsistent. Like that's got to be a big part of it. And if he keep messing around, LeBron gonna trade him. I'm sorry, not trade. LeBron gonna fire him. You know, LeBron done fired coaches before.
For real.
This won't be the first coach he fired. He fired Black in Cleveland.
In the finals.
Yeah. He tried to fire Spo too, but Pat Riley told him to go himself. He's like, yo,
we ain't going for that.
He ain't going for that. Pat Riley told LeBron to walk. To this day, I can't believe he did that. Like, that was epic, man. Pat Riley, any other GM, any other team president or owner would have did exactly what LeBron said. If LeBron say fire the coach, they fire the coach. Pat Riley was the only, probably will be the only one in history to ever tell LeBron, no, I'm not going to fire this man. You can go walk if you want to go walk. And what did LeBron do? He walked. He went to Cleveland. He chucked them boys the deuces and went to Cleveland and won a championship and then went to LA. So, you know, a lot can be said on both sides of that. Mm-hmm. But LeBron, he definitely is at a place now where it's no nonsense. So if the coach is not doing what he's supposed to do, don't be surprised if Darvin Ham don't make it through this season. Don't be surprised, and remember where y'all heard that first if it does happen. On the other side of the ball, Steph Curry had 46 points and 7 assists. That's epic, man. Steph almost had 50. He almost dropped 50 on them boys. Went to double overtime, and it still wasn't enough. Klay Thompson only had 24 points, and then he fouled out. So, talking about Golden State, do you think it's time for Golden State to consider breaking up the team? They are 19.
No. I still believe in the Warriors. I am also a Golden State fan, so
okay.
I believe in them. So no one should be broken up. Anybody is Wiggins. You trade Wiggins. You keep Steph, Klay, and Draymond. They are the championship core through all these years. We need them together.
So you saying probably flip Wiggins for something, another piece? Like what piece what are y'all looking for to help stabilize this team? Really,
we need a big man. Really,
I was gonna say that. I was gonna say a big man or some youth because your starting lineup is getting kind of up there in age. Like Steph, Klay, Draymond, Looney, all those boys. They seem to be getting up there in age, and they don't move the same as they moved back when they won that first championship. They don't, they don't have that quickness. They don't have that fast break, that quick shoot the ball fast offense. It's just looking like they're slowing down and getting a little older. So yes, I definitely agree that y'all need a big man, but y'all also need some youth. I thought Kuminga was about to be the next coming of whoever, but Kuminga, he's taking longer to develop than what I thought. I thought he was going to be developed by now.
Kuminga is developing right now. He's been playing great in the last 5-8 games during this stretch. He's really blossoming, and Steve Kerr's trusting him more. I can see it and how he plays him. He's playing down the stretch.
I see that. I do notice that.
Shoot. This is the Steve Kerr. Steve Kerr. This is what I like.
Talk to him.
You're being consistent with Kuminga. Because you didn't have some times where you didn't took him out of rotation, you ain't believe in him, and you ain't play him down the stretch. It plays a part because we need that young youth. You heard what Braun said, playing Kuminga. That keeps you young. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You gotta stay with that factor with Kuminga because I believe in him too. So gotta keep going with him.
Okay. I'm gonna keep my eye on him. The couple of times that I saw him out there, he did show some promising signs.
He is a baller. He's athletic. He gives him youth. He gives him defense. He
he
can
got some
rebound a
size
little.
too. He got size to him too. Yeah.
He's athletic. Like the sky's the limit for Kuminga, for real.
Yeah, I think he's definitely going to be a part of the future for Golden State. Definitely want to hold on to him. I didn't think that when y'all gave up Jordan Poole or let Jordan Poole walk, I didn't think it would be such a big deal, but I am kind of seeing that it kind of is a big deal. I mean, Jordan Poole did bring a lot to you guys. Whenever Steph or Clay was being so heavily defended or being double teamed, Jordan Poole was that guy that could get off and he could still give you 30. I don't see who's that third guy on the team that has the potential for 30 right now. And it should be Kuminga. Maybe Kuminga develops into that guy and he eventually does. But Wiggins, he's definitely, his best days are behind him. Let's just keep it real on Wiggins. I watched him in that double overtime loss go up there and miss 2 free throws, critical free throws that could have helped them win the game, and he missed them both.
I hate when players miss free throws. That is one of my biggest peeves in basketball, especially free throws you need, or just the situation how the game go.
Yeah, like, especially both. I could see if you miss one of them. Like
I don't understand how these coaches, they don't put these, like, my team would be shooting free throws for most of the practice or sometimes in practice, because it'd be situation in games where our best players can't make free throws. And why is that? Because these coaches is not out there to tell them to make free throws or put in repetition for them to shoot free throws.
Yeah, you got to lock the gym and be like, yo, ain't nobody leaving until this cat makes 10 free throws in a row. Practice will not end.
Pass for me is Giannis, because he just shoots them and he knows he has to get better, and he is. So that's the only one I can accept misses from, especially unless we need him. Like, okay, Giannis, we need these free throws.
But he works at it, and when he needs them, he sometimes he locks in, and sometimes he makes those. But for
superstar needs to make free throws. Our best player on the team needs to make free throws. They are free. Y'all got to stop missing free throws. I'd be so mad, bro.
That me too. I say, man, look, I don't play professional ball, but I can shoot free throws. Like I can make free throw. If I don't make both of them, best believe I'm making at least one of them. Like, I'm gonna give you one of those free throws. Free throws are free, and that's just what they used to tell us in high school gym class. It was unacceptable to miss. We couldn't leave gym class. Gym class wouldn't end until he would choose somebody. The gym coach would pick somebody from anybody from the class, male or female, and they got to keep shooting free throws until they make 2 in a row, and then gym is over and everybody can leave. I don't think these NBA coaches do that. They need to do something to make these guys.
They don't put that factor. They don't put that out there. They got players.
Yeah.
Everybody line up, shooting free throws for 20, 25 minutes. Get your reps up. We need them.
There's too many NBA players that can't shoot free throws, so that's a memo out to coaches out there. Y'all make sure y'all boys shoot free throws well. Mm-hmm. All right. But that, again, that was a great rivalry week matchup and lineup. There was some good games. Also, Milwaukee played in that rivalry week, but they completely demolished their opponent. Speaking of Milwaukee Bucks, they signed Doc Rivers. Doc Rivers is now y'all coach, man, and he's going to coach his very first game tonight on the road against the defending champion Denver Nuggets. How do you see not only this game, but how do you see the rest of the season playing out with Doc Rivers as y'all coach?
It's going to take some time to build, but Doc knows that. He's been around the last 2-3 days with the team, getting to know people, being familiar with them. So I think it's going to be smart. I think Doc can turn this around. I feel like this is a fresh start for him now. He's had some time off these last couple months just to see the game in a different way, so he can bring that back to his coaching style. So I feel like this is big for the Bucks. We're probably going to be a number 2 seed. Boston can have 1. So
yeah, two is just as good as 1 in most cases.
I would take 2 throughout the whole year. And we're just going to build. I feel like defense will be better. Players would be more committed. And Doc can get that factor out of the players as well, too, I think.
Do you think that Giannis and Dame will respect Doc?
Yeah.
I mean, he does come with the championship. He does come with a good reputation of being a good coach. He does, come with the respect factor. I agree. I do think
Doc Rivers.
he's
We
Doc.
need you. In the
Yeah.
playoffs, we got them leads, them big leads in games. We got them big leads in series, 3-2, 3-1, whatever the case might be. We got to close it out and move on. This is not Philly. This is not Boston. You are dealing with two greatness players right now.
Yeah.
Giannis and Dame. We're not going for that. We need that.
Yeah, the biggest issue for your Milwaukee Bucks all year has just been defense. And I think Doc Rivers, he's the right coach for that. I think he can
Sure.
I think he can clean up the defense in Milwaukee. I hate to say it because I know we're gonna have to run into y'all at some point, and we're gonna have to face y'all.
And we
I
not
think
with y'all. Y'all got us messed up.
I think the championship this year is gonna kind of go through Milwaukee. I trust Milwaukee a lot more than I trust Boston. And a lot of people are going to be like, well, what do you mean, man? Boston, they've been there year after year after year. They got Tatum, they got Brown, they got Porzingis now and all of that. But I'm still not 100% sold on Boston's defense. Mm-hmm. Even though they have Jrue Holiday and he's doing his thing. I just feel like losing Marcus Smart and who is it? Williams? Was it Grant Williams?
They lost Grant Williams too.
Like, that was a lot. That's a lot of defense that you've given up. And now, the offense is clicking, but the playoff time, it comes down to defense. And Coach Mazzulla, he's not exactly a defensive mind. So for that reason, I like Milwaukee and Doc Rivers and Giannis and Dame and all of that.
In case we run into Philly, Doc Rivers got the experience on coaching Embiid, so he knows how to throw him off, get his rhythm off, double teams here and there. He knows his spots.
If it's possible.
So that's an advantage we have too if we face Philly.
I don't know if I'll go that far because Embiid is balling this year. I don't know if there is any defense.
Down, but we can make him frustrated. We can get him off his game a little bit just to
ruffle him. Yeah, that's what it's going to take. Y'all going to have to ruffle him a little bit, just get him off his sweet spots because he's eating double teams up, pause. He's eating double teams up this year. Like anything that they throw at him, Embiid is like he's shooting over centers. He's like, you try to put two small guys on him, he's going to back them down and hit them with the little baby hook. He's doing he's in his full bag this year. So it's going to take some unconventional coaching or a coach that knows him.
About Embiid it's like he don't know. He plays like an MVP, but like he goes down as well, like as not being an MVP because he's scared to face Jokic. But he only plays Giannis, which I don't know. Like he goes to Milwaukee and plays Giannis, but when it's time to go to Denver,
that's what I keep hearing. I've been hearing this all day long.
I noticed that for so long. Like he will play Giannis every time, whether if Philly's at home or the Bucks are at home, he's playing.
But he just gave Joker like 50 something, or he just
where was that game at?
It was in Philly. It was in Philly. Yeah.
And they just played Philly this weekend, and B was nowhere to be found. As soon as the game started, they're like, "Oh, he's not playing." But before the game, he's in the lineup. And then he comes on the bench, and that's why the crowd went on him. That's why the crowd should get all the props. Denver, I salute your crowd for that.
Yeah,
B is scary for that.
Hey, Denver's just a hard place to win, period. That's a hard place to win games.
Smoke with Jokic down there.
Yeah, for real. And y'all gotta see them boys tonight in that high altitude where you run for 2 minutes and you out of breath.
Giannis ain't scared of nobody. We playing whoever.
True. I mean, Giannis don't have no fear. That's true. But hey, that high altitude, it is something to that. Like where they say in Denver, where you get tired faster than you get in any other stadium or in any other arena, It's
Yeah.
because of that high altitude. So there's a lot to be
Their
said for that.
time zone is behind, like, I think, like 3 hours or something.
Yeah, and they're behind on top of that.
Mhm.
So this is not going to be an easy game for y'all. Y'all going to have y'all hands full with that.
It ain't gonna be no blowout if we lose.
But it's this Doc Rivers' first game as the coach. So we're all looking forward to seeing how Doc Rivers does in his very first game. So we look forward to seeing that. Staying here with the NBA, but switching gears real quick, talking about NBA All-Star Weekend, which is coming up here in just a few weeks. The Eastern starters were named and the Western starters were named. We're going to go over each of those teams and just see if we agree with those selections or if anybody else should have got in. For the Eastern Conference, we got Giannis, your boy. We got Embiid, my boy. We got Jason Tatum, Tyrese Halliburton, and we got Dame Time. How do you feel about that starting lineup? Did the fans get it right?
Yep.
The fans got it right 100%, in my opinion, as well. There was a lot of talk from New York Knicks fans. A lot of New York Knicks fans were basically upset, saying that Jalen Brunson, should have gotten the nod instead of Dame. Do you agree with that piece, or do you feel like Dame should be where he is and Brunson should be a reserve?
I feel like they got it right. Dame's worthy of that starter spot. I can see Brunson as well, but Milwaukee has been winning more. They're higher, so that plays a part too as well. If your team's winning or losing,
Big part of it.
so
Big part of it. And their numbers
averaging around the same.
the same. Their numbers, I was just about to say, Dame is averaging 25, 7 assists, 4 rebounds. Brunson is averaging 27, 7 assists, 4 rebounds.
Mm-hmm.
So they're basically the same, but the difference to me is not only is Milwaukee a much better team, they're playing better than New York. They have more wins, and Dame is this is his first year with Milwaukee. For him to walk in here in his first season with the Bucks and still put up all-star numbers, that says a lot. You know, that says a whole lot that we got to give. Plus the fact that just in a vacuum, looking at those two players, Dame and Brunson, to me, Dame is the better shooter. I mean, I don't think that's even really a question on who's the better shooter between Dame and Brunson. Dame is the better shooter. But everywhere else, they're pretty much equal. Like, I don't see, there's nothing that Brunson does better than Dame Lillard. I don't see. I mean, do you see anything individually as an individual player that Jalen Brunson does better than Dame Lillard?
No.
Okay. But individually, we can say that there's something that Dame does better than Brunson, which is shoot the 3 ball, the mid-range, and free throws. I think those 3 areas, Dame Lillard is surpassed Brunson. Brunson is a good free throw shooter. Brunson is also a good mid-range shooter, but Lillard is a great free throw shooter. Lillard is a great mid-range shooter.
90% is your
90 percentile. And then his 3-point shoot, he has limitless range. He can shoot the ball from anywhere in the gym. As
Jalen
far
Brunson,
as passing,
from the logo, people. Jalen
logo
Brunson not pulling
Dame,
from the logo.
logo Dame,
Right.
and they're about equal in passing. And passing the ball, they're about even. So again, I think they got that right. I don't see anything wrong with the starting lineup on the East. On the Western Conference, we got LeBron, KD, Luka, SGA, Nikola Jokic. Did they get that right?
Yes.
I'm with you on that. I'm with you on them getting that right. My only question about the Western is a couple of things. One, Kyrie is playing really well this year. I don't know if he's, better than, I wouldn't take anybody off of here to put Kyrie in. Same thing with Kawhi, but they haven't played enough games, I don't think, to warrant them getting into that all-star starting lineup.
Steph has played more games than both of them.
True that. The best team in the West is the Minnesota Timberwolves. They have no starters in the all-star game. No Karl Anthony Towns and no Ant-Man Edwards. So my only question would be, if we really are going by the winning team, then the best player from the best team usually gets in as a starter. Usually. But again, looking at those starting five for the West, I don't know anybody in that five that I would take out to put in Karl Anthony Towns or Ant-Man Edwards. It's just tough. The West is loaded and it's hard to get in. So I personally think they got that right.
Yeah.
So long as we both agree on that we good. So we don't, nobody don't at me on none of that stuff and telling me that you feel like, oh, your team's best player should have been in and all that. Well, if you feel that way, y'all more than welcome to come on this show with us and debate us and tell us why you feel like somebody else who we didn't name should be in place of somebody who's already there. So that's that on that one. Now, sliding into the history moment of the week in sports history. On this day in 2005, Serena Williams beat Lindsay Davenport to win her second Australian Open title, on the way to becoming the greatest women's tennis player ever. She recently retired, but salute to Serena Williams. We ain't forget about you. Even though you retired, we still know your greatness. And today we recognize you for having that 2005 Australian Open Championship against Lindsay Davenport, who at the time
on this day
in 2005. So salute to her. And Lindsay Davenport was really good too. A lot of people who don't follow tennis don't really know too much, but Lindsay Davenport was really good, and Serena beating her was like a passing of the torch and a coming of guard. So salute again to Serena. Also, in 1984, on this day, Isaiah Thomas leads Yes, there you go. I knew I was gonna get somebody you for this one. Isaiah Thomas. In 1984, Isaiah Thomas led the Eastern Conference All-Stars to a victory over the Western Conference All-Stars. That game went into overtime. 154 to 145, and Zeke was cooking. He was cooking. So for him to be MVP of that game, of an overtime all-star game, we gotta salute Zeke on that one. Salute to you, Isaiah Thomas, for winning MVP of the 1984 NBA All-Star game. He did his thing, and we can't have a show without mentioning the historic greats of all of these sports that came before us. So salute to Isaiah Thomas on that. Real quick now, as we wrapping up the show for our 2-minute drill. Quickly, Bill Belichick is still without a job. Any thoughts on that? You surprised that Bill Belichick ain't got a job yet?
I ain't surprised. I feel like he will. He's got to find the right team. I feel like he probably wants to coach more teams with experience a little bit, try to advance more in the playoffs. So I feel like it's going to be a bigger team this year. Or you never know, he could surprise us and go to college. I've been hearing that too.
That's a chance too. It's a possibility. I personally think Bill Belichick will have a job really soon. I don't think he's going to be jobless too long. He's the greatest coach in football history, so somebody's going to definitely pick him up. Harbaugh from Michigan recently just signed with the LA Chargers. He is now the new coach of the Chargers, and he's going to coach Justin Herbert. How you think that's going to look?
I like it. That's a nice pickup.
I think it's a nice combination too. Nice pickup. Justin Herbert is a really good quarterback. He just hasn't had a good coach. He hasn't had a good team around him. So I think now with him having Harbaugh is going to unlock something in him, and he's now going to have a chance to be one of the elite quarterbacks in the league. So salute to Harbaugh going to the Chargers. Julius,
that probably could be a playoff team.
I see that with that coaching, it's possible, especially in that division. That division should be pretty open for them, so I can see them making some noise over there. Julius Randle from the New York Knicks, he is out for a couple of weeks with a shoulder. Do you think the Knicks will be able to hold it down long enough for him to get back?
Yeah, they'll be all right.
I think they should be okay. Julius Randle, he's a big piece of their team, so I hope to see him back soon. Even though you're a rival for my Heat, I always want to see teams at their best, and Julius Randle is a good player, so I want to.
The Knicks got two rivals.
Yeah, that's crazy,
Two
right?
rival teams. They got Miami and the Bucks.
And the Bucks. Yep. And the New York Knicks. I mean, the Knicks are the Knicks. The Knicks, they have some of the most passionate fans. Some of the most passionate fans that I've ever come across are from New York, and they got real strong personalities. So salute to the New York Knicks. Hope Julius Randle gets back soon. The Miami Dolphins are interviewing former Bills defensive coordinator Leslie Frazier. This after the Dolphins just fired their defensive coordinator. I was shocked at the firing of our defensive coordinator. He was a pretty decent guy. We just had a lot of injuries on the defensive side of the ball, so he took the heat and the blame for a lot of our defensive problems. But we're about to interview the defensive coordinator, the former defensive coordinator for the Bills, Leslie Frazier. I feel like that actually is the best case scenario because he called a really good defense in Baltimore. So maybe he can help us out a little bit too. So I look forward to seeing how that turns out. Sharon Moore takes over the Michigan job from Harbaugh. Do you like that move?
Yes, that's what I was saying in the first place.
Yeah.
I said, okay, they fire Harbaugh. If he leaves, they might as well make Moore the new coach, and they did. So they heard me on that one, probably.
They was listening. They were listening to the show. So salute to everybody that listens and actually takes heed to what we say, because we be knowing what we talking about sometimes. So a lot of y'all, y'all need to tune in so y'all can kind of get some of this knowledge and make some moves based on what we say. So that's pretty much it. That's a wrap. We definitely appreciate everybody who's been watching the show, who's locked in. Y'all
love and support.
All the love and support. Y'all continue to like, share. Y'all continue to subscribe. Y'all continue to show love. I want to send a special shout out to my man Gene Hennigan for putting together the logo that y'all see up there. If y'all looking for any type of logos or any type of designs that y'all want to get done, y'all definitely get at me and I'll put you in touch with my man Gene. He's good at what he does. Also, salute to KE Creations. Any type of designs that y'all want put on shirts, y'all want put on towels, you want put on socks, or whatever the case is, then get at me and KE Creations will take care of you on that. Next week, we got a really good show for y'all. Next week is going to be the Super Bowl preview show. We're going to have some really good guests coming on. We got a comic, my man Diesel Greasel going to be in the building. We bringing back my man Reese Coleman, Big Reese from the Shot. Shout out Reese. He's going to be in the building. Also, my man K-Rod. K-Rod is going to be here. Big time New York Knicks fan, Knicks supporter, also New York fan overall. He'll be in here joining us. We got a lot of good stuff coming at y'all next week. So y'all make sure y'all tune in to next week's show. It'll be the Super Bowl show. We're going to have a lot of fun with it, and we will be here. So it's your boy, brother Anumsi. My man, Time.
TD Day.
You know what it is. So we holler at y'all next time. Thank you for y'all support once again. Thank y'all for tuning in. The Sports Time Zone out.